Alright, this is where we left off last time. We were getting ready to do media queries. I have this one media query here because of their navigation, and we said, oh, well, you know, we can wrap it. That's one way of doing it so that we didn't have to do it. But suppose we didn't want to have them wrapping. So we can see that at about 575, it wraps. So we want to go ahead and change it. So the first thing we're going to change is this right here. So we're going to go ahead and grab the NavUL-LIA. I'm going to copy that and paste it in here because I need to change some stuff here. And I'm going to tab this over. All right. So I'm not going to change most of this stuff. It's going to keep the border and all that kind of good stuff. And the box sizing and yada, yada, yada. I think we're going to keep that margin too. I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Alright, so the only thing that we're going to change is the padding and the width. Because once we get to 575, these are too wide. So we're just going to make them a little bit narrower. Alright, so this is how we're going to look here. Up here now we're going to change it at the smaller size. So instead of having 20 pixels left and right, let's just do 5 pixels left and right. And then we're going to change this size here. Alright, so let's do File, Save All, and Refresh. Okay, and then when we bring it in, you see nothing really changes. And that's because these are 131. So what I want to do is I'll come down here and I'll double click and I'll use my arrow keys to make it smaller. So there's 130. Let's see, where are we here? Okay, that is not doing anything. Okay, let's refresh. Here we go. Now do 130. You can see. See? So 129, it brings it back up here. That's not good enough. Let's make it smaller. See how small we can go before it breaks again. And it breaks right about there. That's because of our padding. So it looks like 101 is where we want to go. So this is, instead of 131, it's going to be 101. And we'll do File, Save All, and Refresh. Now they'll all be that same way. So here they're wide. Then when it gets to here, see how they got narrow? Narrow, 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 narrow. And then when we get to right about here, we break again because you can see that the kittens are going off the page. So it looks like our next one is going to be 450. Yeah. It's like 458. Let's do 459 just for grins. Alright, so I'm going to copy this. Whoops. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. And this is going to be 459, our next breakpoint. Okay, and then here we're going to do something different. Let's see, what are we going to do? Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay, and I need to have a closed brace here. Okay, at this point, what we want to do is stop stacking, remove all our floats. Alright, so, or flexes, I'm sorry. Alright, so we have 2 of them here, and we're probably going to do some more here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab header, nav, I'm going to copy all this, paste it into here. And then grab all this and tab it over. So this is how I want it. when it gets to 459. But before it, I don't want that display flex. List style none and padding 0. We're going to keep that at the small size, so I'm going to get rid of it here. And then for the A, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably keep, definitely going to have all this. And keep all this. So the only thing that's going to change is probably my padding, my width, and my margin might change. So let's see what we're going to do. So far I haven't changed anything, so nothing's testing. Now I can come up here and change some of these things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I don't want the header, I don't want it to flex anymore. And I don't want the UL, or all the LIs in the UL, I don't want them flexing anymore. And then in here, what we're going to have to do is change the padding and the width. Everything else should stay the same. So let's go ahead and do a file, save all, and refresh. Let's see how it looks. All right, so we're back to where we were before when we first started. There's a couple of things that we want. Whoa, I'm missing one. All right, so our section, let's see. We want to get rid of this too. So I'm going to copy this. And then down here after the nav, I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to move it over. And we're going to comment that out. File, save all, and refresh. Okay, that's how we want it. Now the only other thing that I want is I want to get rid of this picture, and I want these to go all the way across. And I want to get rid of that margin. Maybe not. We'll see. Alright, so since we have copy and pasted this right here, we can go ahead and change it up here. So what I want to do is I am going to make the width 100%. And I might get rid of the padding. We definitely won't need that. Let's see. Let's see what that does. We'll do File, Save All, and Refresh. Alright, so now they are like that. Let's see. That padding. We still need some padding. So let's do, I'm going to uncomment that. And let's make that 20 pixels. Now left and right again doesn't matter. There's so much space over here that padding won't do anything. But I'd like to make those buttons a little bigger. There we go. A little bit better. And then let's get rid of the margin. So we'll make that, I'll make that margin 0. But first I'll copy it. And then I'll come down here in this A. Oh, there it is. So we still kept the margin. I was smart to leave that there. Okay, we'll do File, Save All, and Refresh. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Everything else is looking okay. This thing on the bottom, even that is taking up 100% of the container. So the only thing we have to do is get rid of this kitten box here. So let's go ahead and do that. So in our styles, what we're going to do is that is header. So there's our header right here. Actually, we're not doing anything in the header in the smaller size. So let's do header, figure, display, none. Okay, oh, that's not right. Then both pictures are going to go. So we want the second picture to go. So we're going to use a pseudo class here, and we're going to do last child. So there are 3 children in header. There's this figure, this H1, and this figure. So if a figure is the last child, then make it not display. Save all, and then refresh. Boom, it's gone. So you can see if I didn't have this, and I did file, save, whoops, file, save all, then both pictures would disappear. But since I do last child, it gets rid of that second picture. Right now we only have the one picture and then the heading, and then I think that's it. The only problem now is when I move this back out again, that picture is still gone. So now I have to tell it to come back. So I'm going to copy this, move it down into my media query, and that is after header. And then I'm going to tab these 2 over. And what I wanted to do is display block. Figure is a block level element. That's going to restore it. And actually, no matter what we put there, it would be fine. But block is best. Save all. And then refresh. So still works small. When it gets bigger, a lot. All right. So looking good. This is exactly how I want it to be. All right.